Welcome children of class 10. Now today children in chemistry we are starting the third chapter and it is very important chapter, very big chapter also. So we'll be doing it one by one and the chapter's name is acid, bases and salts. So children regarding this chapter as you all know that we have in the later stages we have different acids also in detail to study, so it is a review of that, and if you follow this particular chapter you will follow the coming chapters also. So children, regarding the introduction part, we say that acid and bases, so elements combine together in fixed ratio to form a compound. So we all know that compounds are formed by the combination of elements, and these compounds can be classified into acids, bases and salts. So we have classified our compound into three categories. They are acids, bases and salts. Now children, acids, if we talk about acids, we say that acids can be classified can be identified by their sour taste, and bases by soapy touch and bitter taste. Salt is a product formed by the combination of acids and bases. But all acids and bases are not tasted or touched, as some of them harm the body. And acids and bases are recognized by indicators. And children, indicator is a chemical substance which indicates the means of a sharp change, by means of sharp change in color, the nature of solution and their characteristics chemical reaction. So we can identify these compounds through these indicators, whether they are acids, bases or salts. Now children, Lavoisier and Davy studied the term acids, bases and salts on scientific line, and their findings say that all acids compulsory have hydrogen ion as the constituent element in the form of proton or in the form of H positive ion. For example, hydrochloric acid, which is HCl, sulfuric acid, H2SO4, nitric acid, HNO3. And all bases are either metallic oxides or metallic hydroxides or ammonium solution, or you can say ammonium hydroxide. So children, this is the definition given by Lavoisier and Davy. Now all salts are chemical compounds and they are formed by the interaction of acids and bases, replacing the hydrogen ion present in an acid by metallic ion or by ammonium ion, non-metallic ammonium ion. So children, when we react acid and base, the hydrogen ion of the acid is replaced by metal ion or by ammonium ion, and then it forms a salt. For example is sodium chloride, calcium carbonate, ammonium hydroxide. Now children, if we talk about acid, the word acid comes from the Latin word acidus, meaning sour. In fact, the sour taste of some food is due to the acids they have. So there are some things, some naturally occurring acid which we use in our daily life, like acetic acid, vinegar. Vinegar, children, is sirka. Then citric acid, we get it from citrus fruit like oranges, lemons. Then we have butyric acid. Then we have hydrochloric acid, formic acid, and children, all these are being given. What are there? Lactic acid we get from sour milk, malic acid, apples, oleic acid, olive oil, oxalic acid, stearic acid, tartaric acid, and uric acid. These are different acids which we normally use in our daily life. Now children, acids are defined as compounds which contain one or more hydrogen atom, and when dissolved in water produce hydronium ion as the only positive charged ion. So children, acids are those compounds which when they dissolve in water they produce the hydronium ion. So we'll first take the example that acid molecules furnishes hydronium ion or proton ion, that is H ion, as we see here, HCl in water. When it dissolves in water produces hydronium ion and chloride ion. But children, this H ion or hydrogen ion cannot exist independently. Therefore it combines with water molecule to form the hydronium ion or the H3 ion. O ion positive, as it is shown in this equation. Now children, this hydrated ion can all now exist independently in solution, and it is this hydronium ion which is responsible for all the acidic properties. So hydrogen is common in all acids. Other examples of acids are sulfuric acid, which is H2SO4, nitric acid, acetic acid, and these acids, when they dissolve in water, they also produce hydronium ion. As you can see here, that H2SO4, when it dissolves with water, it produces two hydronium ion and a sulfate ion. Nitric acid, when it dissolves in water, produces a hydronium ion and a nitrate ion. And acetic acid, when dissolved in water, produces a hydronium ion and an acetate ion. So children, we see here that this hydrated hydrogen ion that exists in the solution of acid is called the hydronium ion. Now, however, for simplicity, we shall use the simplified form, that is H positive instead of hydronium ion. So children, when we'll be studying about acids, we'll be talking about H ion, but it is actually the H3O ion. So when we talk about this, it is basically the hydronium ion. The acidic property of an acid are actually the properties of the hydronium ion present in it. So the property of acid is basically due to the hydronium ion. Now children, note, in fact the hydronium ion can also be written as OH3 positive, since the positive charge is due to the presence of extra hydrogen ion with water which is neutral. Now children, now we'll do the classification of acid. Now if you see the classification of acid, we have classified acid into different ways. First is depending on their sources. First is that many acids we get from the natural sources. So they are called as organic acids. So acids which are obtained usually from plants are called organic acids, and they contain carbon atom also along with hydrogen atom, like oxalic acid, that is COOH whole twice, acetic acid, formic acid. These are some citric acid. These are some acids which we get from the natural sources. So they are called as organic acid. And these organic acid, children, they are weak acid and they do not ionize completely in solution. This we'll discuss later. So they contain ions as well as molecules. So they are weak acids and they are also used for eating purposes. Now the other classification is inorganic acid. Now children, inorganic means mineral acid. Acids which are obtained usually from minerals are known as inorganic acids, and they do not contain carbon, but there is one exception, that is carbonic acid, H2CO3. It is an inorganic acid but it contains carbon, but all other acids do not contain carbon. And examples are hydrochloric acid, HCl, sulfuric acid, H2SO4, nitric acid, HNO3. And these mineral acids, children, they are strong acids. They ionize completely in solution, producing high concentration of hydronium ion. And these acids contains only acids. Carbonic acid, children, is a weak mineral acid. It contains ions as well as molecules. It turns blue litmus pink. It is non-corrosive, and so it is also used in soft drink. So children, the cold drink which you drink, it contains an acid called the carbonic acid. Now children, there are some acids which contain oxygen along with hydrogen. So acids which contain oxygen along with hydrogen and some other elements are called as oxy acids. So children, all those acids which contains oxygen, like nitric acid, sulfuric acid, sulfurous acid, they can also be called as oxy acids. And children, all those acids which do not contain oxygen, they contain hydrogen and another non-metallic element, they are known as hydra acids, but they do not contain oxygen, like HCl, hydrochloric acid, hydrobromic acid, like hydroiodic acid. These are hydra acid. Now children, we have also classified our acids on their basicity. Now basicity means the basicity of an acid is defined as the number of hydronium ion that can be produced by the ionization of one molecule of that acid in aqueous solution. So when you dissolve an acid molecule, if one molecule of an acid gives you one hydronium ion, then it will be called as monobasic acid. So monobasic acids are those acids which on ionization in water produce one hydronium ion per molecule of the acid are known as monobasic acid. For example, children, hydrochloric acid HCl, when it dissolves in water, it only gives you one hydronium ion and one chloride ion. And other examples are HBr, hydrobromic acid, nitric acid, hydroiodic acid, and even acetic acid. Now children, in acetic acid, which is CS3COOH, you see that there are 4 hydrogen atoms, but it comes under the category of monobasic acid because on ionization it only produces one hydronium ion. Now children, when these monobasic acids, they ionize in one step, and so when they react with bases, they give you only one normal salt, as it is given here, NaOH plus HCl. It is giving you NaCl, this is a normal salt, and it is giving you water. Now it must be emphasized here that basicity of an acid depends not on the number of hydrogen atom in one molecule of that acid, but the number of ionizable hydrogen atom that it has per molecule. For example, acetic acid, that is CS3COH, contains 4 hydrogen atom in the molecule, but it is a monobasic acid because its molecule ionizes by liberating only one hydronium ion. So when this acetic acid, children, this ionizes in water, it gives you only one hydronium ion and an acetate ion, so it comes under the category of monobasic acid. Now children, the next is dibasic acid. Acids which on ionization in water produces 2 hydronium ion, 2s3O positive ion per molecule of an acid, they are known as dibasic acid. And children, some examples of dibasic acid are sulfuric acid H2SO4, oxalic acid H2C2O4, sulfurous acid, carbonic acid. Now dibasic acid ionizes in 2 steps as shown below. Like H2SO4, it ionizes in water to give you one hydronium ion and bisulfate, hydrogen sulfate ion. Then this hydrogen sulfate ion again react with water to give you the second hydronium ion. So one molecule of H2SO4 is giving you 2 hydronium ion and a sulfate ion. In the same way, children, carbonic acid is giving you 2 hydronium ion and a carbonate ion. And these dibasic acids have 2 replaceable hydrogen ion. So therefore they form one acidic salt and one normal salt. So if you react them with bases like H2SO4 plus NaOH, it is giving you one acidic salt like NaH. SO4 is an acid salt plus water, and this also gives you a normal salt like 2NaOH. When it reacts with H2SO4 gives you Na2SO4, that is sodium sulfate, and water, it is a normal salt. Now children, we come to the next one, that is tribasic acid. Tribasic acids on ionization in water produces 3 hydronium ions per molecule of an acid, and they are called as tribasic acid. For example, phosphoric acid, citric acid, they have 3 ionizable hydronium ion. If you see the example of phosphoric acid, it is ionizing in 3 steps. Phosphoric acid is ionizing into in the first step into one hydronium ion and H2PO4 a positive negative ion, then S2PO4 again it ionizes to give you another hydronium ion, and then again it ionizes. So it is ionizing in 3 steps. So tribasic acid can form 2 different acidic salt and one normal salt because they have 3 replaceable hydrogen ion. So children, when NaOH reacts with phosphoric acid, it may give you monosodium dihydrogen phosphate, that is a acid salt. It may even give you, children, again 2NaOH can react with H3PO4 to give you disodium hydrogen phosphate, this is again an acidic salt, and 3NaOH may react with H3PO4 to give you trisodium phosphate, this is a normal salt. So children, in the same way, salicylic acid, that is H4SiO4, has basicity of 4 because it has got 4 ionizable hydronium ion. Now children, the next classification is based on the concentration. So the concentration of an acid means the amount of acid present in a definite amount of its aqueous solution. Aqueous solution means water solution. So children, an acid which contains very small amount of water or no water is called concentrated acid, while an acid which contains far more amount of water than its own mass is called as dilute acid. So in order to dilute an acid, children, we have to just keep in mind that we add or we pour acid to water, not water to acid. So we have to take precautions over here. We add acid into water, and we then add acid in a very small amount, drop by drop into water, and we stir it. If we add water, water is not added to acid as it is an exothermic process, and in this process so much heat is produced that splashing of an acid solution may occur. Also the container may break, which can be fatal to a person. And children, concentration of an acid simply tells us the amount of water present in the acid and not at all the strength of the acid. The strength of an acid is a measure of concentration of hydrogen or hydronium ion it produces in its aqueous solution. Thus, dilute hydrochloric acid stronger acid than highly concentrated acetic acid. So children, over here strength or concentration of an acid means that how much molecules ionizes to give you hydronium ion, and the strength of an acid depends on the degree of ionization and concentration of hydronium ion produced by an acid in aqueous. So degree of ionization, children, is measured number of acid molecules ionized upon total number of acid molecules present in aqueous solution into 100. So this is how we find out the degree, that is out of 100 molecules how many molecules have ionized. This is what degree of ionization means. And if the degree of ionization, children, for an acid or an alkali in aqueous solution is greater than 30%, we say it is strong, and if it is less than 30%, we say it is weak. So children, if we say it is a weak acid or if it is a strong acid, that means we are talking about its degree of ionization. Now children, the next topic after classification of acid is the preparation of acids. Now regarding the preparation of acid, we first prepare it by synthesis. Synthesis is direct combination. So binary acid, that is acids containing two elements, are prepared by this, and the examples are given like hydrogen plus chlorine gives you 2HCl, that is hydrochloric acid. Hydrogen plus bromine gives us 2HBr, that is hydrobromic acid, and hydrogen plus sulfur give you hydrogen sulfide. This is also an acid. Then the second method of creation of preparation of acid is by the action of water on non-metallic or acidic oxide. Non-metallic oxides like SO2, CO2, SO3, P2O5. Now children, if you see that sulfur trioxide is dissolved or is added, water is added to it, and it gives you sulfuric acid. Then sulfur dioxide and water gives you sulfurous acid. Carbon dioxide and water give you carbonic acid. Phosphorus pentoxide and water gives you phosphoric acid. Nitrogen pentoxide is added to water, gives you nitric acid. Not only oxy acids can be prepared by this method, since oxygen is present in all these acids. And children, nitrogen dioxide NO2 is called a mixed or double acidic anhydride because two acid, nitrous acid and nitric acid, are formed when it reacts with water. So 2NO2 plus H2 gives you nitrous acid, HNO2, and nitric acid, that is HNO3. So it is called a double acid anhydride or a mixed acid anhydride. Now children, acids are also prepared by the oxidation of non-metal like sulfur and phosphorus. A non-metal, sulfur or phosphorus, is oxidized by concentrated nitric acid to form sulfuric acid or phosphoric acid respectively. So S plus 6HNO3 gives you H2SO4 sulfuric acid plus water plus nitrogen dioxide. In the same way, phosphorus plus nitric acid gives you phosphoric acid plus water plus nitrogen. Now children, these two reactions, they are very important. They are always asked in exam. Then the other is children by displacement. Normal salts of a more volatile acids are displaced by less volatile acid. Both hydrochloric and nitric acids are formed by sulfuric acid, like NaCl, sodium chloride plus H2SO4, it gives you sodium bisulfate plus plus hydrochloric acid. Then sodium nitrate plus H2SO4, it gives you sodium bisulfate and nitric acid. So children, it is also prepared by this method of preparation we use for the preparation of hydrochloric acid and nitric acid. Now children, properties of acid. The physical properties of acid are that taste. All acids have a sour taste, but mineral acid like sulfuric acid, nitric acid, hydrochloric acid, they should not be tasted because they are corrosive in nature and they may form blisters in your skin. The next is children, the next is regarding the next property children is their physical state children. Now if you talk about the physical state, some acids are solid and some are liquid at room temperature. For example, boric acid, oxalic acid, tartaric acid, citric acid, phosphoric acid, they all exist as solid acids. And children, acetic acid, formic acid, carbonic acid, hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, they occur as liquid, and they occur as children volatile liquid. Volatile means that they vaporize easily at room temperature, and by heating them at about 80 degree they changes into vapor. But there is one acid, that is the sulfuric acid, which is called as the non-volatile acid. It do not volatile easily. Now children, we come to the next physical property, that is effect on skin. All mineral acids have corrosive action on the skin and cause painful burns. Concentrated sulfuric acid stains the skin black. Concentrated nitric acid makes it yellow, and concentrated HCl gives amber color to the skin. Carbonic acid, that is mineral and organic acids, they are not corrosive. And next is they change the color of the indicators. Indicator children are complex substances that acquire separate color in acidic and basic medium. For example, litmus indicator is a natural coloring material obtained from certain lichens on dissolving in distilled water. The red cabbage extract, that is natural indicator, remain red in acidic solution but turns green in basic solution. These substances whose smell changes in acidic or basic solutions are called as olfactory indicators. For example, onion, vanilla, clove oil. Onion has a characteristic smell, and when a basic solution like sodium hydroxide solution is added to a cloth strip treated with onion, then onion smell cannot be detected. An acidic solution cannot destroy the smell of onion. So children, these are some physical properties. Now we come to the chemical properties of acid. And the chemical properties of acid, first is reaction with active metals. So children, all the metals above hydrogen in the activity series, they react with the acids like HCl and H2SO4 to give you salt and hydrogen. So both dilute hydrochloric acid and dilute H2SO4 sulfuric acid, they react explosively with active metal like potassium, sodium, calcium, and moderately with less active metal like magnesium, zinc, iron, and they produce salt, metallic salt, and hydrogen. So children, not only with magnesium, sodium, iron, they also react with other metals, but that reaction is explosive. So they all react. Say the reaction, if Mg plus 2HCl is MgCl2 plus hydrogen. If Mg reacts with sulfuric acid, it will give you MgSO4 magnesium sulfate plus hydrogen. In the same way, if it is reacting with the HCl, it can also react with H2SO4 dilute. Note, nitric acid children, we don't get hydrogen because we say that nitric acid is a very strong oxidizing agent, and when we do this reaction with nitric acid, in place of hydrogen we get water because nitric acid is an oxidizing agent. So nitric acid is a very strong oxidizing agent, so it is not used in the preparation of hydrogen. It dissolves hydrogen and forms water, thus defeats the purpose of the reaction. Only magnesium and manganese can produce hydrogen with very dilute nitric acid. So children, the example of manganese is given Mn plus 2HNO3. 1% dilute is giving you manganese nitrate plus hydrogen. The same reaction can also be written for magnesium. Magnesium will be Mg in place of Mn. Mg plus 2HNO3 will give you MgNO3 whole twice plus hydrogen. These are the only two reactions where nitric acid reacts with them to give you hydrogen and salt. Now children, reaction with bases. As you all know, you have studied neutralization reaction, or acid neutralizes bases to form salt and water. So we say that acid reacts with bases to form salt and water. Say for example, copper oxide, it reacts with sulfuric acid to give you salt, copper sulfate and water. NaOH reacts with HNO3 to give you salt and water. In the same way, NaOH reacts with HCl to give you NaCl plus water. Not only these two oxides, any oxide they react with acid to give you salt and water. So children, all the bases they react with acids to give you salt and water. Now children, action of dilute acids on salt. Now these are very common reactions and we have to learn them accordingly. Now action of acids on salts, children, first of all with carbonates and hydrogen carbonates. Carbonate is CO3 minus 2 and hydrogen carbonate is HCO3 minus 1. All the acids reacts with carbonates and bicarbonates or hydrogen carbonates to give salt, water and carbon dioxide. For example, calcium carbonate reacts with HCl to give you calcium chloride, salt plus water and plus carbon dioxide. Then calcium bicarbonate reacts with HCl to give you calcium chloride, water and carbon dioxide. And children, this is for all the carbonates. All the carbonates reacts with acid to give you salt, water and carbon dioxide. This is a general reaction which you will find. If the salt produced is insoluble, then the reaction does not proceed. So we do not expect lead carbonate to react with hydrochloric acid or sulfuric acid, nor does calcium carbonate react with sulfuric acid. Children, this is due to the fact when this salt is formed, it protects the layer of that, forms a layer on that carbonate and it further stops the reaction. But the reaction is always that carbonates and bicarbonates react. And children, when hydrogen carbonate of sodium, potassium are the only common ones which exist in solid state. So other are existing in liquid state. Then the next common reaction is that all the sulfides SO3 minus and bisulfides HSO3 minus, SO3 is SO3 minus 2 and HSO3 is minus 1. All the sulfides and bisulfides reacts with acids, dilute acids, and they liberate, then they give you salt, water and they liberate SO2 gas, sulfur dioxide. So children, SaSO3 plus H2SO4, when it reacts with the HCl, it gives you calcium chloride, water and SO2. And NaHSO3, that is sodium bisulfite, when it reacts with HCl, it gives you salt, water and again sulfur dioxide. And children, the next reaction is with sulfide. Sulfide is S minus 2. So it reacts with all the metal sulfide to give you hydrogen sulfide, and this and salt and hydrogen sulfide. And children, this salt and H2SO4 has got a peculiar smell of rotten eggs. So acid reacts with metal sulfides to liberate hydrogen sulfide along with salt. And chlorides do not react with any dilute acid. In general, chloride reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid on warming to liberate hydrogen chloride. So the reaction takes place in two steps, since H2SO4 contains two replaceable hydrogen ions. So children, chloride, only concentrated sulfuric acid reacts with NaCl or any other chloride, and this reaction takes place at two temperatures, and if it is below 200, then a bisulfate salt is formed and HCl is formed, that is an acid gas is formed, HCl gas is formed, and if the temperature is above 200, then sodium sulfate and HCl is formed. The same reaction takes place with nitrates also. So children, nitrate do not react with dilute acid, but it reacts with concentrated H2SO4 to give you nitric acid. But for dilute nitric acid and dilute sulfuric acid, only lead nitrate reacts, and lead nitrate reacts with HCl to give you lead chloride plus nitric acid. Lead nitrate reacts with sulfuric acid to give you lead sulfate and nitric acid. When nitrates, when heated with concentrated sulfuric acid, produce more volatile acid, that is nitric acid. So potassium nitrate or any other nitrate, when it reacts with concentrated sulfuric acid, and this reaction takes place at 2 temperature, below 200 it produces bisulfate salt and nitric acid, and above 200 it produces the sulfate salt and the nitric acid. So these two reactions given at the end, children, these are also the reactions for the preparation of nitric acid and hydrochloric acid, which we will study later. Now children, we come to the uses of these, some of the important acids, like for example boric acid. It is used for eye wash, it is used as an antiseptic, and children, you might have heard that boric acid is also used to play caroms. It is used on caroms. Citric acid, it is used for food preservative, and it is also a source of vitamin C. Oxalic acid, it is used for ink stain remover. Carbonic acid, it is used in cold drinks, flavored drinks. Tartaric acid is used as a baking powder. Acetic acid is used as table vinegar and in cooking. Hydrochloric acid is used for cleaning of metals and in industries. Benzoic acid is used for preservation of food and making of perfumes and medicines. Nitric acid is used for explosive. Phosphoric acid is used in fertilizers. So children, this is the first part where we have done acids, and I'll do the revision of this before we move on to bases also.